In a time where the world needs a hero, one man is willing to stand up and be counted. He will push himself further than he thought was humanly possible, suffer like no other, and silence the haters.
I'm not going to look at Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, or YouTube for 30 days. Over a month ago on this channel, I released a video where I said I was going to quit social media for 30 days. The idea being that hopefully by cutting out social media, I would be way more productive when it came to making videos. But also, I'm constantly hearing about the negative side effects of social media, so I wondered if cutting social media out would highlight that there was indeed negative side effects, and by cutting out social media, I'd start to feel some of the positives. I think this is what I thought 30 days no social media would look like. Me out in nature feeling serene and one with the world whilst feeling morally superior to everyone else who was on social media wasting their time. But actually, I'm not sure that that's actually the full story. So let's go to day one. Day one, and this is going to be tough. I just keep grabbing my phone and then unlocking it and then realising I've deleted all the apps, and then I just sort of stare at it for a bit and then put it down, and then I do that again 10 minutes later. And then when I turned my laptop on this morning, the first thing I went to do was go on to YouTube and see what videos people had posted, and then I realised no, you're not really supposed to be doing that. So yeah, I'm kind of bored. This was very similar to my 30 days no phone challenge. For the first few days of that challenge, I kept leaning into my pocket whenever I was bored. But by the time I finished no phone for 30 days, I'd broken that habit, but I'd clearly built it back up again. Day 4, and in order to combat the boredom, I have bought a book, and granted, it's a bit biased. It's called 10 Arguments for Deleting Your Social Media Accounts Right Now. But, you know, if I'm not going to be going on social media, I might as well read about social media. I don't know if that really makes any sense. The other thing I've noticed as well is my screen time is way down now. I mean, I do keep going to pick up my phone, like I said the other day, and just looking at it and then realising there's nothing I can do on it. But, you know, for example, today I've only been on for 10 minutes. Yesterday was an hour and 33, and that was mostly because I was trying to keep up with football scores and because I used it as sat-nav for a little bit. So, in fact, 42 minutes of that was on Google Maps. So yeah, my phone use has gone down quite significantly. And I'm going to read about social media. So it's 4 days later, and what I can tell you about this book is absolutely nothing. I've not even pretended to start reading it yet. So every evening when I think I might read, Charlie and I are watching Taskmaster instead. But I think that's okay. I think that's still a nice way of unwinding. And the difference between watching TV now and watching TV pre-challenge is that we're not actually looking at our phones whilst we're watching it. We're watching it together and we're enjoying it and laughing at it. So that is a positive. The other thing is I have been really productive this week. I have made 4 videos in 4 days, I think. I'm about to try and make another one today, so that'll be 5 videos in 5 days. So that is incredibly productive for me, and I think the main thing is that I'm not getting distracted when I'm trying to plan out my videos. I'm not watching YouTube or looking at Twitter. It's watching YouTube when I'm trying to plan out videos, which is the big one. So that has been a positive, but yeah, not started reading that yet. This has continued as the challenge has gone on. My productivity has skyrocketed and my screen time has gone way down. And this is the 18th video I've released since I started that challenge. And although there are a number of contributing factors like a slight change in content and a complete refocusing of my energies, I can't help but think that not having my biggest source of procrastination is a huge contributing factor to my productivity. So we're about 2 weeks into the challenge, and one of the things that I often do with these challenges is around the 10-day mark I'll say something like, yeah, the challenge feels pretty normal. I feel like I've made a normal habit out of this now, and that is the case. I definitely lean from my phone a lot less. I'm not sitting there picking it up and unlocking it and then realising that there's nothing to do on it as much as I was at the beginning of the challenge. But what I don't often do is talk about the negative side effects of the challenge, and there are some negative side effects to not being on social media. I'm less connected with my friends and family than I usually am. I'm not getting the little insight into their life that I usually do. I'm not keeping up with the news as well as I usually do. Now, there's a good argument to say that social media news isn't the best way to get your news anyway. It's sort of curated and tailored to you anyway, and you should be getting your news from wider sources. But I am not really feeling as connected with the world at large, or at least my world at large. And the other thing is, I'm missing my YouTuber friends and my YouTuber buddies and seeing what they're doing and sharing ideas with each other and seeing what new videos are being put up on YouTube and getting inspired by those videos and seeing what some of the people that I really like and look up to are doing. So there's definitely a negative side effect to being off social media. I genuinely, at this point, believe that the positives are outweighing the negatives. Like I said in my last entry, I'm way more productive. I feel way less distracted, and I feel way more motivated than I normally would. But there are definitely some negative side effects, so I thought I'd just address them.
You often hear YouTubers say things like they felt a huge weight was lifted immediately when they do challenges like this, but that wasn't the case for me. At this point in the challenge, I was feeling the effects of being out of the loop. But now that I can reflect on it a bit, I think that I was actually starting to feel a bit happier and a bit lighter at this point in the challenge.
Day 15, and I have finished the book, so pretty happy about that. I can't be asked to give you a review of the book right now, so I'm going to leave that one for future John.
Cheers, past John. Thanks for being a massive dick as usual. Well, I guess it's time for the Boy John's official, full and comprehensive book review of 10 arguments for deleting your social media accounts right now. Yeah, it's alright. I mean, the arguments are compelling, but as you'd expect from a book called 10 Arguments for Deleting Your Social Media Accounts Right Now, it isn't the most balanced book. It doesn't spend a lot of time focusing on any positive effects of social media, and as someone who doesn't want to completely quit social media but wants to use it in a more healthy and purposeful way, I'm not sure how helpful I found it. Another book I read during this challenge is Outraged: Why Everyone is Shouting and No One is Talking. And although I won't go into too much detail now about this book, it really helped me think about picking my battles about what to get angry at online and how to have a calmer approach to social media. So although I would recommend both books, if you're going to pick just one, I'd maybe go for that one.
Day 16, and this is a strange one. I just went on the social tab of my email and I saw that I had an email from Instagram where they tell me all the notifications and stuff I've not seen. But the weirdest thing about this particular email is that there was one of the people that it said that I've missed out from seeing is my ex-girlfriend. And the reason that that is weird is because I don't even follow her on this Instagram account. I follow her on my own personal one, which isn't the Boy John. So it's very strange. Obviously at the bottom of the email it says that this email is from Facebook, and obviously on Facebook it would have had our relationship status on there. So I'm now wondering how much those social media platforms communicate with each other. But it was a very odd thing to receive. I've never received an email from Instagram before. I've not been on for a few days and they're like, oh, this is what you're missing out on. Also, here's a picture of your ex, which was very, very, very strange. So I promptly unsubscribed from those emails. Weird Instagram, very, very weird.
That one was weird. That one was really weird. And I know that there'll be some people out there who think they've caught me out and go, well, the algorithm knows you look at their profile, so that's why they're showing it to you. But that really isn't the case with this account. Like I said, I follow them on a different social media account. So I'll be honest with you, Instagram really creeped me out with that one.
One of the things I was concerned about coming into this challenge is how it would affect my channel, because I use social media quite a lot to promote my videos. I'll often put out an Instagram story if there's a new video, and then I'll tweet it, and the tweet will get a few likes and retweets, and the Instagram story will get a few views. And I was worried about not getting that traffic being driven to my channel and how it would affect the views. But actually what I've noticed is it's not had that significant an impact. If anything, some of my videos over the last few weeks have done better than they had done pre-challenge. So it's quite hard to know what impact social media has on my channel and has on how well I can promote a video. I mean, the fact that some of the videos have done better than I expected could be because the algorithm's pushing them more, because I'm posting more. So I don't want to say discount social media completely, but I'm quite pleased to know that I don't have to rely on it, which is nice. Although, having said that, some of my growth in the past has come from, you know, bigger YouTubers retweeting my tweets, like Jackmate, when I did my video about cans that isn't about cans. So I guess I'm denying myself the possibility for that to happen by not being on Twitter and Instagram. So it's a bit of a balancing act, but on the whole, it hasn't been too detrimental to my channel, which is nice. Quick confession time, I still think I have some of the social media addiction pathways in my brain, because although, like I said earlier in the video, I'm leaning for my phone a lot less to check for notifications and whatever, there are still times where I'm just looking at my phone at mindless things. So my screen time has gone down, so I don't want to overstate this problem, but I do find that I'm looking at, say, BBC News or other random websites more than I was before. So I still find that I have that need to sort of feed my brain with something and sit there scrolling, and I know that Charlie, who's also been doing this with me, has found the exact same, if anything even more so. So I don't know really what to make of that, other than there's clearly something deep rooted in there, and I think that I might need to think about that when I finish this challenge. Maybe I need to think about what I keep on my phone. So it's the evening of day 30, the final evening of my no social media task, and I'll be honest with you, I don't know entirely how I feel about the fact that I'm able to go back on social media tomorrow. I'm not particularly bothered, as bad as that is to say. I am quite excited to go on YouTube, and I am quite excited to see what people have posted, but I doubt I've missed that much on Twitter and Instagram, so mixed feelings at this point. So it's now 10 days after I finished that challenge, and as I said on the clip from the 30th day, I wasn't really that bothered about whether or not I went back on social media, but since then I've been back on everything. I've been on Instagram, Twitter, I even checked Facebook, which I didn't even really do before the challenge. But the first thing I saw when I went onto Twitter was an article from the Daily Mail criticising Marcus Rashford for buying a £2 million home, even though he's trying at the moment to feed poor children effectively, and the Daily Mail seemingly criticising him for that. And it was fascinating because the very first post I saw instantly made me angry. So it did make me instantly question whether or not I needed social media in my life. But on the whole, I do like it. I like the interaction, I like the connectivity, I like that that's where I get my news. I like being on social media, so I don't want to quit it entirely. One thing I have done since the challenge finished is I haven't put Twitter, Instagram, I haven't put any social media back onto my mobile devices. So neither my iPad nor my phone have any social media on it. And what I found is, although I can now go on Twitter and Instagram and check how things are going, I am not spending hours procrastinating and looking at those things. And also in the evening when I'm doing things like watching TV or films or spending quality time with Charlie, I am no longer scrolling and distracted during that time. So I think I found the right balance for me, being a bit more purposeful with my social media use and the time that I spend on it. I don't know if that's a satisfying takeaway or not. What do you think? Let me know in the comments section down below. And as always, if you like the video, give it a like. If you dislike it, then of course, dislike it. Subscribe if you haven't already. And of course, as always, it would be my pleasure if you would just piss off.
The boy John, the boy John, the boy John.
After the challenge finished, and as I said on that clip on the 30th day, there's f***ing crows. And it's raining, and it's cold. Why did I choose to film out here? It's wanky, arty crap.